Hello, Illuminated Hearts. This is Red with Six Seal of Light. Thank you for joining us for this video and this general reading. This reading is for entertainment purposes only. It is not to be used for legal advice, financial advice, or medical advice. If you need such professions or counsel, please look for the appropriate persons. If this video resonates, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. If it doesn't, take what fits and leave what doesn't, and we will continue moving on. Okay. What is it that has come to a complete ending at this time, or has seemed to have fallen apart? Because while complete endings are a 10, they're endings and beginnings. This is a 7, the Tower. So we've been faced with a situation. Oh, I'm looking at this and I'm seeing an arrow moving upwards right here in this cloud movement, and it's almost to say that something in the past had propelled this forward and created this chaos that has occurred, the meltdown, if you will. That might be significant, that term for somebody, a meltdown. But it's almost like we're attempting to connect with a higher power at this time in order to alleviate the situation that had come from this tower moment that might have been experienced in the past. I'm looking at these doorways and something of significance. It's almost like the minimizing of a person, because while these all have these arches, this right here, and I will get a little closer, does not. It's almost in the shape of a person where they're broad, is almost as if to say that they were able to defend something, and as they carried on defending, it's almost like it minimized them. So if that has any significance to you, please let us, when I say us, like I have a mouse in my pocket, but let me know. So something happened as far as a tower moment. I put the deck down right, and the Hierophant steps in. So somebody might be reaching for their religious beliefs as far as praying and learning a little bit more about what it really means to follow a spiritual path after that tarot, I don't know why I said that, after after that tower moment. So maybe that's something somebody is attempting to do, is learning and picking up tarot. Maybe somebody is picking up the occult. Maybe somebody is looking to branch out of what they used to practice. The Hierophant generally has two people standing in front of him, almost to say, these are my apprentices. I am teaching other people. But this one doesn't. So there's a change in the way that we believe and what we are learning is what I'm picking up on, especially with that 5 in the way. This card came out, the 4 of Cups reversed, because when I picked up the Hierophant, the 4 of Cups came out with him. So it's almost to say that this I was supposed to have grabbed as well. So looking back, as we learn what this new spiritual path might be, it is my interpretation that this individual that this reading might be for, you're actually reflecting on the past and the things that you had encountered or experienced during this time here, between the tower moment and here, okay, and before the tower moment, because then my attention is being brought down back to this little arrow looking shape that is made within the clouds. So it's almost to say, okay, what am I holding that really created a lot or a big effect on my life that I really don't need to hold on to anymore? Yet I still feel consumed with the thought of it. And so with that, my apologies, say it, don't spray it. And with that being said, you know, we have this gentleman here. If we look at him this way, and this is why I think the card came out reversed. It's not to say that this, it's not to say that this, okay, I went blank. So maybe we're doing that in the time where we have these moments where it's almost like I don't feel anything, but yet I do, or I know something is stirring. And so in this position, though, it's almost, he's almost looking off into the future, but here he's looking off into the past. And so I think there's a certain amount of emotion that we hold possibly from the past that we're looking, and we have these moments of thoughts, right? Where we traverse over these mountains, these obstacles that we had encountered throughout our travels. And yet we stay grounded. We stay rooted in where we're at because we know we're protected in a sort of sense. Okay. And so, it's coming to mind with me having had, pulled like 4 of those cards right there, and I didn't look at them. As if to say we're grabbing more than we need to. And so in order to really understand what it is that we're feeling, it's almost like we might want to consider taking it one thing at a time. Don't take the whole bundle before we're able to really process it. So where we thought that we might have, after this this tower moment, we then have the world reversed. So this tower moment might have brought to our attention that there were things that we were wanting to create that were hindered by this. It's almost like a change of direction. And I say that because while she's holding these wands, she's like the epitome of creation in a sense, right? But at the same time, it's through our thoughts, because I'm focused on the clouds, right? And so she's willing to create what's necessary from the victories in her life. But here I feel as though we don't feel, because the victory wreath is not complete, right? The world usually has a full wreath in effect. Here it's not connecting. There's a broken piece right here, or it hasn't grown enough. And with this, it's to say, I'm still growing, but I don't feel like what I wanted to achieve in the past in this tower moment actually took place. And I am possibly being drawn to create something new, still having this ability to understand that I have this ability to transform and manifest and decide what it is that I create. So there could still be a victory at play here with us moving into the Hierophant with the change of the approach that is being taken. So maybe we weren't really, we were thinking we could do it on our own, but maybe we realized it's not really us solely, it's what is guiding us spiritually. And whatever your spiritual beliefs are, it still has the same effect. Whether you believe in angels, whether you believe in guides, whether you believe in God, it is still the same effect on what it is that's guiding whomever this reading might be for. So then we have the Three of Swords. And the Three of Swords is to say that this is another underlying current, because while we have a top tier here, this is the internal tier. As we go in, it comes down and it minimizes into who we are individually through our subconscious. So while this is transpiring on the outside, this is what's going on within as it goes down. Because as above, so below, right? As within, so without. And with that being said, we then have the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is to say that maybe it is a time where, because here we have the Four of Cups, and while he seems to be looking towards the past, he, in a sense, is still also looking at the Three of Swords. And I think this is to say that maybe this is a reflective stance that somebody is taking, where they're like, okay, what am I holding on to that is still affecting what it is that I have found I'm not entirely able to create right now? And we've taken it to the next position after we realize this, where we're probably considering, well, maybe I need to contact whomever it is that is not seen, in a sense, right? Because while we can believe that there are powers at play from outside of us, ultimately it is our decision whether we ask for help or not. We ask for guidance, or we ask for some sort of revelation, is what I heard. So if that resonates, I hope it might, or it does. All right. Okay, so we have 2 cards here that fell out. All right. Yes. So in this world card reverse position, we have the Seven of Wands. And I do want to bring out that we have the 7 right here. So it almost feels as though somebody is holding on to something that they don't want others to know about. Maybe even what it is that they were planning on creating. And then here in the underneath the Three of Wands, we then have the 10 of Wands. And the 10 of Wands, he looks like he's, while tens are that of completion, he looks like he's ready for a new journey. He's ready to go out on the mountains. He's ready to traverse whatever terrains he might be met with. While he's carrying all of these, he seems to be, it's almost like he's not. It's like some are in the ground and some are being taken. So somebody might be leaving some things and taking other things that they have come to be aware of within this 5 position. But also this reflective stance that they are encountering as they move forward. All right, one more card here, please. Thank you. And then that puts us in the 7 of Swords. Again, the number 7 is becoming very prominent in this reading. And I want to say this, is that while we have this card, so the 7 of Swords upright is generally a card of, okay, because it kept bringing me back to the 5. That's of saboteur sort of situation. But with this picture right here, he has more of a, I'm going to hold what's mine, and I'm going to keep the other thoughts that I have right here. But I've got some that I might act on. I have some that I might speak on. But right now, I'm going to hold them close to my heart. And that, I think, has to do, oh, somebody's evaluating something. They're evaluating something mentally, and they're evaluating the way that they approach it. This is a very wise decision, I have to say this, because it's a very tactful and wise way of dealing with things. While we might be upset about certain situations, it's not always in our best interest to say what it is that's on our mind. So, all right, let's look here. Okay. I didn't want to take these, but I'm going to take these. It's the Truth Oracle. So, we'll let it tell me what I'm going to take. Because generally I take 3, and if it doesn't want to give me 3, then we want the Rose. Passionate love, thorns, and short. So, whatever this is, I feel as though, because if we look at this card, despite all the literary pictures and whatnot it has going on here, roses are that is passion. And so, but I'm looking at the background, right? And I'm seeing this door. And in this door, it's almost to say that while others have wilted, others have lost their petals, we have this threshold that we can walk into if we so choose to. And it depends upon how we feel as far as whether we're ready or not. Do we feel like we have bloomed enough? And I'm getting this, I'm ready. I have flowered into what I believe I'm ready to do. And this is the direction I want to go in. And if somebody's passionate about it, because that kind of relates to the wands. We have the 7 of wands and the 10 of wands, and both of those are cards of what is it that you're passionate about, that you want to create. What is it that your desires in life? I'm hearing the birds. What are the desires in your life that drive you to want to be that passionate about what it is that you're embarking on? So we might have left something behind. I don't know. Then we have talent, born with features, personality. So let me just take a second. I'm going to look at this card. So we've gone through time, we have been on this journey where things have not been just so straightforward. As much as we like to think that time is linear, we have found something where we have found something. We have come upon a situation where we realize that it has its ups and downs, its ebbs and flows, its twists and turns. But in this situation, because of the rock there in the bottom, right? So this might be somebody who possibly has an earth sign that is of great significance in their natal chart. And so I say that because this is an arrow pointing to a rock. It's solid, and rocks are that of the earth, and therefore I am attributing that to being grounded, and that is where I get that from. And so I don't like to just say things and them seem like, well, where does she get this from? How is she reading these cards? I don't read cards particularly the same way most people do. I do more so look at them from an intuitive perspective, while also using the common phrases or common definitions in which most people relate them to. In this card, though, what I'm seeing is, and let me say this, if you, I'm seeing the number 3. So the number 3 might be of relevance along with the number 7 to somebody. We're going through a lot of changes, and it's almost like we're trying to adjust. And there's a lot of emotion in this as far as the way that we are navigating the whole situation. And we're realizing that it's not necessarily because there's there's possibly something wrong with us, but because we're born to be this person. And there is nothing wrong. I want to say this first and foremost. There is nothing wrong with being what most say, well, you're different. Well, you're crazy. Well, it is not for other people to define who we are, yet, nor is it for us to accept that. We are different for the simple fact that we are spirits having a human experience. And through this, what you have to offer is an experience for anybody who encounters you to understand that you are very talented. You are born with features and a personality that nobody else can replicate. You are your own self. And that right there is absolutely beautiful. And then we have firm, wide awake, clean, decisive. And when we can see this, because here, while I find the colors uncanny, the correlation between them, it's almost like we've gone from here, and I'm looking at the fact that this is a man or a young man, and this is a woman or a young woman, and the colors are so close together. And it's almost like we have this new balance between the masculine and the feminine, or the way that we once had approached situations in the past. And while he's holding a cup, she seems to be holding a sword. And so this card says wide awake, clean, decisive. So while all of this is being processed and made to be understood by whomever this reading is for, when you come to the outside of the whole situation and scenario, there is like this breath of fresh air, because you finally realize this is who I was supposed to be all along. And it's fresh. It brings this fresh understanding to the whole situation. And it allows you to see things so clearly. And while I look at this picture, and I didn't see it here because these clouds are really clumpy. These are not. It's almost like it's moving through the picture. And whomever this is for, it is a firm understanding in who we are and what we allow ourselves to encounter along our path moving forward. So with that being said, I want to take the time to say thank you. This is the end of our reading.